What is up, guys? So, we have a new development in the NFL, as you might say. The 49ers are looking at trades for Trey Lance. They're opening up their availability to trade Trey Lance. This is something that I think they should do. I don't think Trey Lance is the answer. I really don't know how good Trey Lance is. He's only started 4 games. I don't really think that he's actually all that good in general, to be honest with you. Just my opinion. But who cares about that? Today, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be rebuilding the 49ers. So we are going to be going about this scenario with the 49ers and trading Trey Lance and trying to win a title with the 49ers. So, that said, we can go ahead and get into this. But we're going to restart from this whole offseason. This whole thing is our choice now. We'll get the draft class in here. We're not going to end up doing a whole lot in this offseason in terms of player signings. We're going to maybe do what they did, which I don't know is a whole lot, honestly. I'm going to have to make sure they didn't do anything outlandish I'm forgetting about, and then I will pretty much just run this entire year from that right there. So here we are. We're going to pick up from just before the draft starts, and we got some fifth-year options. Javon Kinlaw, this is a tough one, honestly, because we do have Javon Hargrave now. He's one of the guys that got in free agency. But I think he's a young enough player that we do probably want to keep him around. The number for the fifth-year option shouldn't be terrible. I know Eric Armstead is actually at a defensive tackle. He's either going to kick to an end or we might just trade him outright. I don't know. Either way, we'll figure that out when we get there. Have another fifth-year option to gauge. Brandon Ayuk, absolutely. Not even a question. He this last year was a huge breakout for him, and he is going to be a guy we keep around. And if you notice something different about the video, maybe rotation of the sides or something, it's because I realized I'm an idiot and what's new. But the thing was backwards, like the bell read backwards, Steeler read back. I never really caught on to it until just recently, so I went ahead and fixed that. So either way, that's for whatever. But we're going to make our Trey Lance trade right now, and I've already got our target acquired. I don't know what exactly this is going to take. He's 23 years old. There's a lot of teams. I wonder if anybody who has green on him, if anybody. Let's see. Just out of curiosity. The Falcons have a green interest in him. The Jets have a green interest in him. The Packers, the Panthers, all these teams that are either super old veteran guys or the guys who are picking up top tier. But our team that we are going to be trading with is the not. I'm just playing. We are going to be making this a Lamar Jackson trade. Lamar is going to get traded probably here eventually, anyways. I don't know exactly how this works. It's definitely going to be our first round pick. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, not even close. We're going to make this work one way or another because this is just what I think is going to happen. I'm going to have to go force it because they're not going to want to. We'll give up 2 first picks and Trey Lance because right now, with the contract Lamar has signed, the negotiable franchise tag, right now the price is just 2 first round picks, and we're giving him more than that with Trey Lance. So that's going to be the trade. I'm going to go get that, and we will be right back after I do that. So here we are. Here is our team. Over on the right is Brandon Ayuk, obviously. This is what it looks like. I think this is a really, really good spot for Lamar Jackson to go. I think he fits the team. I think out of anybody in the league who could do whatever they wanted to with a guy like Lamar, the offensive ideology, Kyle Shanahan there's no one better. You get Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, all that movement they already do, and then add Lamar Jackson to that. They might be unstoppable. Plus, the NFC is quite weak right now, so I just like how this fits. Some 49ers fans are all up in arms about Brock Purdy. Look, Brock Purdy had a great year. Brock Purdy averaged 170 yards a game. It was a team success, and he kept them from he made sure they didn't lose. He did not make them lose, but he didn't hurt their winning, but they did it as a team. Brock Purdy was a great story, but he came out the other day and said he might not even play this next year. And 7th-round picks just don't get all the chances that a first-round guy would, like Trey Lance. You don't get to come back year after year. So if Brock Purdy can't play this year, he might be on a really, really thin ice. And if he does come back soon, even the next year, if this doesn't happen, a scenario where they get a good quarterback like Lamar, you just never know. So, with that said, Lamar Jackson trade. We're looking at a pretty good defense for sure. Obviously, this hasn't fixed because of the stupidity of Madden, but we should have Javon Hargrave down here as well, and then Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw. We'll probably end up trying to trade Eric Armstead at the start of the year, or maybe in the draft to get a slightly earlier pick, maybe like a third rounder. We'll check on that, though, when we get there. So, moving on, we're just going to get to the draft. I guess that is time to do some scouting. We did upload the Bengals draft class from Gene Dangus. Check that out if you haven't. And really, our big focus has got to be our right tackle. Our right tackles are horrible. We have to have somebody who can do that. So we're going to scout these guys. This is the part where we're going to try to see if we can get a trade for Eric Armstead. It's just he is far too expensive for us to be keeping here as a second and a half D tackle because I'm gonna play Javon Kinlaw over him anyways. I want to try and develop him if I can. So we're gonna try. I mean, he's a good player, but we don't want to take up Drake Jackson or Nick Bosa. So we've got to keep our ends. I'm thinking we trade him out of conference. Who would be willing to take a guy like Eric Armstead? Maybe. We are not looking to do anything but get some picks here. We're just trying to get picks as good as we can, as realistic as possible, nothing else. We don't want anything crazy. We just want some maneuverability. We'll see if we can give him to the Texans. They should give us solid picks and his former defensive coordinator in what's it called? D'Amico Ryans is in Houston. So is that all right? Bet we got a third round pick. That is good enough. Move us up. That is where we're going to take a right tackle. We have to have a right tackle, and that's so our right tackle right now is not going to play. So he will be very necessary for this team's success as it sits right now. We are now at the NFL draft. Like I've said before, our goal in the first pick of our draft is, which is the second pick of the third round, is get a right tackle. Whether that be Tyler Steen is an option. He should be there, hopefully. He's kind of the one I'm hoping for. And if not him, we have some left tackles that may be able to kick over. He was just the one I kind of saw on the board. I'm actually seeing some guys that I'm impressed that are still here. Jalen Duncan is one that I wasn't sure if he'd be here, but he might be a really good one. Javon Foster as well. But if I like Tyler Steen, and he is here, I like that AABB. You can't really see it, but there you go. I'll move it up for you. On the side, AABB. That I like. And so it might be Tyler Steen. Matthew Bergeron's another one, but I think he's a year older. Let me check. Tyler Steen. Yeah, I'm going with Tyler Steen. And he has a dev trait. Let's go. Okay. Yep. That is our right tackle. Mike McGlinchey left and joined the Broncos, so we needed to fill that spot for sure. Moving on, we have to find some just depth pieces at this point. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of draft capital. This team obviously just doesn't. It's not going that we're not going to. So we've just got to see what we have and take what we can. Keitrell Clark could be an option. Corner is a definite need. Marvin Mims is a good slot receiver. Don't know if we need a slot receiver though. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't be upset with Michael Wilson. Yeah. So I think we're gonna go with the highest guy I'm interested in right now on the board. Makes sense, right? And I think we're gonna take Keitrell Clark. I don't know how good he is, but I like the A press and the ability to play man, and looks like zone should be decent as well. No dev trait, 88 speed, 82 jumping, 89. Not a bad athlete. Doesn't have a dev trait, but we'll be okay with that. He's a depth piece that we can try to develop. And we will move on. We have another pick in this round, thankfully. Get a few different guys. After this, we jump all the way to the 7th round, so we got to make another one hit. Tank Dell. He's interesting. I'm pretty sure he's not 5'10". He might be, but I don't know. I don't know about that one. I might take another stab at a corner. The corners on this team just aren't that great. But let's see. Is there any guards available? I don't particularly feel great about any of them. Stromberg, he might be there in the 7th round, and I would be more happy with him there. Might take him there. Not interested in another tackle, especially after we might have a success in the one that we did draft. Hold on, I just saw a bunch of Bs. KJ Henry from Clemson. We'll remember him for the 7th round. Isaiah Moore has some decent ratings. Roman Sheffield as well. Not sure of how I feel about pretty much any of these guys. I'm taking too long to look at picks, so I have to pause the draft. We were at the linebacker spot. Middle linebackers. Not interested in Tank Dell. I think we need a bigger guy. So I'm kind of going to rule out all the slot guys like Marvin Mims and Parker Washington. Mingo could be an option. Xavier Hutchinson. And then Michael Wilson. Let's kind of look around at these guys. We're going to go with receiver here. We know that much. Good speed. 4.48. About a 4.48 at least. Okay, he's got some decent routes. Xavier Hutchinson. Check him out. He's 6'3", big guy. 4.45, a little faster. Not as good of a route runner, though. Spec catch at C. Not upset about that, necessarily. Jonathan Mingo. Faster. But I think he's a little smaller than the other two. Terrible routes. Go with Jonathan Mingo. He'll be our receiver 3. 92 speed. Okay, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. So, we have our receiver. Now we go just fill out some depth in the 7th round. I want to say we have 2 picks in the 7th round. I don't know anything about this guy, so let's check him out. Man's a 4.59. Man coverage is C. Zone coverage is what matters more. Probably a B or a C. He could be a decent player. So we will just go with... I'm interested in this guy. He may not be better, but we'll take him. We will try him out. 84 speed, 88 agility, 88 acceleration. Not terrible. We can deal with it. He's just a depth piece. 7th round picks or 7th round picks. That's all they matter. So we will see what our last pick holds for us. Is that corner still there? He is. Terrible man coverage. Not a good press corner. But we're going to take him anyways. Just for the 96 speed. Really, I just took him because that was what I wanted to know. I just wanted to know. I didn't want to have to look him up. So, whatever. We're good with that. He did run, I want to say he ran the fastest 40 out of the combine this year, but I'm not sure about that. So, checking out our rookies. We have 72 overall Tyler Steen with a dev trait. 71 Keitrell Clark, no dev trait. Jacorian Bennett's pretty bad. But we'll see if he can develop. Johnson wasn't very good. Now I got to check and see if my other safety can be better. Mingo is a 68, but that's not terrible, honestly. I'm not entirely upset about that. I want to see if those any other safeties were better than the guy we took just because. Rashad Torrance was a 66. And he was a 65. I mean, nothing really that much worse. Couldn't have been that much worse. So we could have taken a guy like Hodges Tomlinson, and I don't know, but I'm not really upset about it. Actually, he was already gone at that point, wasn't he? I don't know. Either way, not terrible. He wasn't the worst one there, so that's all that matters. So here we are. We have our starting roster. I did move some things around. Brindle's starting. Banks is start. This is our offensive line. Not the best, but some decent young guys. Feliciano might be better, but he's a lot younger. We're going to keep him. Chris Manhertz, Charlie Werner, whatever. I did move down Ray McLeod. I want Mingo to play. I want him to develop. Maybe could be a decent receiver, not too far away. Had to bring in some linebackers. It didn't record that part, but it's whatever. We had nobody in the left outside linebacker spot. I don't know why, but every time you start a Madden franchise, if you have a guy who's a right outside linebacker and a left outside linebacker, they end up switching spots. He's still allocated as a left and allocated as a right, but they switch spots. It's just going to be whatever. I'm not going to deal with it. Embry Thomas is a corner. Our rookie is going to be the backup. We're going to start George Odom at free safety. Here are our corners. I did try to, I guess this got messed up. I want a little bit of a different arrangement here. Embry Thomas, I didn't mean to click on him. Yeah, here is our offense and defense. I'm pretty happy with this. Drake Jackson, you're supposed to be starting. Stop doing that. I want Drake Jackson to start over Cleveland Farrell. He might be a little worse, but I want him to develop if he can. So I think this is a pretty decent roster. For the NFC, we could be pretty dangerous. So, like I said, we're not going to be playing in this. This is going to be a simulated franchise. Weekly strategy, I'll just kind of run through this so y'all can see it. I'm not worried about that. These are our focus players. We're trying to get Tyler Steen developed, Mingo developed, and Keitrell Clark developed. Get some guys to play soon. So, with that said, I'm going to get this training done, and then I'm going to start simming. I'll stop probably about week 5 or 6. So, I stopped us at week 8, and we are 5-2. Honestly, not upset about where we are. We are going to check some of the, what's it called? The tradable players. There might be some guys out there that are, their teams are trying to get rid of them. So, Tyler Steen got 2 upgrade points. We are going to hit those real fast. Got to develop, and we want him to develop at the certain spot. So, we're going to make sure we do it. A lot of these guys I'm not going to worry about unless I just feel like I need to push them to something particularly. I'm not worried about any of those guys. Let's see. I'll get Ambry Thomas because corners, this slot stuff is some cheese. If you do it right, you'll get like 2 overall upgrades in one time. So we'll work on that. Keitrell Clark, I do want to get him the same deal. See, it was with, what's it called? Morale or whatever, but plus 4 man coverage. That one's huge. I want to see what he's up to now. Man coverage 78. Not the best, but definitely a lot better than it was. Javon Kinlaw's another one. He came out of college, was looking to be so good, and he just didn't really work out. But, I'm not done with him yet. At least as a depth piece. Maybe I shouldn't have given him his 5th-year option. Maybe you should. Kind of goes by person. I'm fine with it personally. So, whatever. But either way, that's probably about all I care. We'll let the rest be what it is. But we are going to look at some of these potential who might be on the trade block. I am interested to see who could be there. We definitely need a safety. Derek Carr's on the trade block. We don't need a quarterback anymore, thankfully. Are we interested in any of these guys? Donovan Peoples-Jones is interesting, but I don't feel like we have the need for that. He's on the Cardinals, too. Tight end, not really interested. Not completely interested in anybody in here unless there's just like somebody ridiculous and that may have a Dev trait. That might be the only reason. Dev trait, if I can speak English. But I don't think so. Zach Allen, pretty good player. Not a big cap hit either. I don't want to take up Drake Jackson right now. Maybe if this was in year 2 and he hadn't done anything, Drake Jackson. But right now, I'm good. Not really interested in any of these linebackers either. Did I miss these? Yeah, not really interested in any of these guys. Corners, Michael Davis, no. Nick Edom, no. Michael Carter, Ben St. Juste. If anybody had a dev trait, maybe, but I don't believe any of these guys do. Kobe Bryant. Tracy Walker, interesting. That's too big of a cap hit. I might consider it, but it's too big of a cap hit. Terrell Burgess is interesting, but I just don't feel like he's a big enough upgrade. None of these guys seem like a big enough upgrade. Grant Delpit. Now we're talking. Okay. Grant Delpit. We need a safety, and he's on the board. Okay. We don't have a lot to give up. We need to give that first-round pick to the Ravens. So not the Browns. What can I give you? Do you want Sam Darnold? No, they're not going to want that. He's on the trade block, so he may not be much. But we still don't want to trade too much. Can I give you a 4th-round pick next year? No, they're not interested in that at all. Y'all need a center. I've got an old one. I'll give you Feliciano. Too much cap. I'm not interested in trying to finagle the cap around right now. But before I do anything else, okay, I had to make sure he had a star dev. I'll give you a 3rd-round pick. Really? This might not happen. That was a weird one. Maybe not the best value. I really feel like a 3rd-round pick for a guy on the trade block should be good enough, but whatever. We don't really want to use those receivers anyways. I want what's-his-name to play. So I'm fine with that. And that's going to give us a huge upgrade into our future with the safety position. I'm okay with having to pay him as well. That probably is why they didn't want him anymore. I'm okay with having to pay him. Wow, that is not good. Center and left guard are weaknesses, so we are going to check on right guard, I guess. That kind of sucks. We do need to bring in another receiver after that trade. I didn't realize how low that made us. Not you, Grant Delpit. Sorry, buddy. You're moving down. We want Delpit to start at free safety. Johnson can go there. Hufanga, you can just move out. Not Chavez Ward. Excuse me. Or yeah, George Odom. Solid player there. So we have now a safety tandem of Grant Delpit and Talanoa Hufanga. I'm happy with that. Maybe Delpit is not the highest overall, but he has a star dev trait. I'm perfectly fine with that. No problem at all. We will check and see who we can get as a replacement receiver since we did lose 2 guys in a quick little span there. Didn't really think it was going to work, but it just kind of did. So whatever. I'm going to bring in a guy who's just younger, probably. Somebody not as good. He's on our... Okay. Maybe him. Xavier Hutchinson. On our... Okay, cool. We'll bring in Xavier Hutchinson. Promote him from the practice squad to our roster. Like that anyways. So, there was a guy we were almost going to draft, and he ended up being there, and I forgot I put him on our... What's it called? Practice squad. So, re-signing players. Nick Bosa. Okay, let's... I'm going to start here just because there's no reason for me to... All right, cool. Yeah, I didn't want to spend any more money than I had to, necessarily. Lamar, another guy we're going to have to pay. Absolutely. We don't have the money to pay him. Great. We will work on restructuring our depth chart. Can we send off if we need to? Let's sort by this. Lamar, obviously. Trent Williams is another huge contract. Bosa, we're fine with that. Him, we're fine. Javarius Ward, he's 27. We'll leave him. Kittle's got a big contract. Hargraves is a guy who maybe not stay around a long time. You never know. He should be gone. Brendel will be around. So really, our money's just tied up in the high-end places. We'll figure it out. There's no way we're letting Lamar leave after one season, obviously. Unless we just win this in one season. Maybe we don't worry about this to the offseason and see if we can just try to win in the first season. But, yeah, I think we're going to do that. Not entirely concerned about it. We're gearing up for a victory in 1 year, hopefully. We're not worried about the trade deadline right now. Nothing else. We got Grant Delpit. That's a good little ad. We're going to sim to not to the playoffs. We're going to sim just a few more weeks and see how this looks. Coming off of a massive win against the Steelers, we are 9-3. We are definitely in the place to be win now. We are definitely there. We're not completely worried about what we need to do with our roster right now. We should, hopefully we'll be able to win this in one season. I don't know what's going on, but our staff points are going through the roof. 97 in just a few weeks. Happy with that, though. Whatever. Let me get... Not there. Let me go there. I want to get to this thing where we can add a few more focus players. It's a really good addition. We can go ahead and hit this a couple times. I'll save the last one so I can hit this over here. Actually, I don't care about quarterbacks as much. We'll develop some wide receivers for Mingo and whoever else. Yeah, so we're definitely in a place to win this year. Honestly, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised we're 9-3. Good record, obviously. Not surprised it's working. We should be. We should be good. There's no reason we shouldn't be. So, we'll get a couple upgrades, make sure we're in the right place, and get to the playoffs this time. Tyler Steen gets another upgrade. That's a big one. Need to keep him developing for sure. Wish he would go up in overall, but it's okay. Trying to get him to a scheme fit. Drake Jackson's one that needs to go up for sure. Anybody else that matters? I'll hit Xavier Hutchinson. I know it's not his thing, but slot's kind of some cheese sometimes. It'll give you a couple upgrades, so whatever. Can't believe we got both him and Mingo when we were trying to debate between the two. But whatever. Good enough for me. Let's get to the playoffs. We have made it to the playoffs. We are the 1 seed. That is going to be huge for us. In the AFC, the Raiders are the 1 seed. There's no Chiefs, no Bills, no Ravens, no Steelers. The Browns and the Bengals are playing around 1. We have some divisional matchups there. This is interesting. One division matchup in the first round over here. Not past that. But I think we have a pretty solid shot here. I like the way this looks. I don't know if anything crazy happened that I'm just missing, We do have a lot of staff points. I've already upgraded a couple players. I just wasn't thinking about it and did it in week 18. I didn't do anything else but upgrade some players. Um, and I re-signed. Oh, I forgot about this. I did re-sign Grant Delpit. He was wanting like $2 million a year each, so I was like, that's fine. Nothing there. They were wanting to trade him because he wanted too much money, I guess, but that's all it was. We're gonna make sure that there's that other thing about the. We're gonna get down to this, whatever it is. I want this scheme fit thing, and then we'll get one more extra one of those. So far, this is a major success. I mean, will we win in the playoffs is the huge question that we have to answer without completely falling on our face. Bennett here, Tyler's seen us star. Good to know. I'm pretty good with all this. Not too upset about any of that being there. Is there anybody else we can replace over Xavier Hutchinson? Is there anybody else that might be a little more useful to have develop other than him? I don't think so. Maybe one of our guards. Maybe one of our guards. Yeah, I'm gonna put Spencer Burford. He might be a higher overall, but I just want him to make sure he's a solid player instead of being just some guy who sits at 74 overall for the rest of this simulation. In round one, we had multiple upsets, big upsets. The Buccaneers 2 seed were upset by the 7 seed Carolina Panthers. They must have a quarterback. I forgot to look at the stats, but we will do that just after this. The Packers beat the 5 seed Falcons, and another upset with the 3 seed Commanders, which is wild in itself, are losing to the Arizona Cardinals. The Bengals did win their game, and we have the Dolphins upset the division rival Jets, and the Chiefs, quote-unquote, upset. Did I say there's no Chiefs earlier? I'm an idiot. The Chiefs upset the Texans. England. So we're going to go ahead and check out our stats. Lamar, pretty solid year. I said he was 23rd in the league in passing yards. Not bad, though. High completion percentage. Super high. Great passer rating. Good number of yards per game. Insanely good touchdown to interception ratio. That is a great year. Great year. McCaffrey with 1,300 yards on the nose. 15 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson had another 600 yards. Is this an MVP season? How many? Had 44 total touchdowns. Debo with 1,200 yards. Ayuk 900. 900 for Kittle. Yeah. Hutchinson and Mingo didn't get too much. Mingo did not get. It was pretty much a 2 wide receiver group. It was just these two on the field that it looks like. Wow. So, defensively, do we have any crazy numbers? 19 sacks for Nick Bosa. 5 interceptions for Charvarius Ward. Fred Warner had 3 picks, too. Tackles for loss, 14. Okay, nice. Okay. We were 3rd in offense and 5th in defense, so no wonder we were so freaking good. Point scored first. Wow. We were putting them up in bunches. Let's check out anybody if there's anybody close to winning an award. Lamar Jackson's going to win MVP. We're going to have Coach of the Year. We got that much. Let's go ahead and just check out. I just want to see what the Carolina Panthers are working with, what we're going up against here. Baker Mayfield. And who did they take number 1? They have Tanner McKee, so they didn't even take that. They do have DJ Moore still because we didn't reset all of the things. They got Cody Mock in there. Oh, man. Miles Murphy. They went Miles Murphy. I wonder if they still had pick number 9. That's what it is. That's okay. They have pick number 9. So Miles Murphy at pick number 9. That's not a bad pickup. Baker Mayfield. We should be able to beat them. Let's go ahead and get our weekly strategy done just in case there's any good upgrades that we get from this. And we beat the tar out of the Panthers, as we should. Thankfully, we now have another should-be-easy matchup in the conference championship with division rival Cardinals. Our division was pretty mediocre outside of us, but we don't mind that. Definitely don't mind it. Let's check our staff points real quick. And we should, not to speak too soon, because definitely don't want to do that. We should be on our way. We should be on our way. Conference championship, Arizona Cardinals. We're assuming they have pretty much the same group. Buda Baker, we see. Let's hope for the best. and we beat them in a narrow victory, 31-29. We have arrived. Lamar Jackson has, the 49ers in real life are very good. They are very good. But if they can just put it together, and by put it together, I mean get an actual quarterback instead of Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. And I'm not really a fan of Brock Purdy. I mean, I like Brock Purdy, the story, the player. He's cool. But I just don't think he's going to be anything in terms of success and real winning for the 49ers. So if they could just put it together and get a real quarterback, there's no reason why they shouldn't have, this much success, like a Super Bowl. Especially in the NFC as it sits right now. The NFC right now is bad, and it's just getting worse because when Rodgers leaves the Packers for the Jets, assuming it happens, it's just going to get worse. So we will go ahead and make our way to the Super Bowl. Vegas Raiders versus San Francisco 49ers, and we have a breakout in the Super Bowl. What a day. We'll go ahead and run through these things real quick. Lamar gets an upgrade. Hey, can't argue with that. Get some help before we have to go play this Super Bowl. I got to see who's on the Raiders, though. That's the next thing we're going to do is check out the Raiders roster because they must have done something. Super Bowl Media Day. Probably one of the most hated things about the Super Bowl for the players. This is just the beginning. Maybe not for this franchise video, but it is the beginning of a dynasty of the 49ers with Lamar Jackson. Go ahead and hit the franchise stat real quick. Let's see who our breakout defensive lineman is. Cleveland Farrell. Well, great for him, but I don't care. I do not care. Super Bowl for the Raiders. And we're going to actually, like I said, we're going to check their roster out real quick, see what they're working with, see what we're going up against. But we're going to jump into this game a little bit. Josh Jacobs. Anthony Richardson, rookie Anthony Richardson comes in over Derek Carr and leads them to a Super Bowl berth at least. Let's see. Devontae, Hunter Renfrow. Okay, same pretty much at the receiving core. Like I said, haven't changed anything but our stuff. They have a okay O-line. Better than I thought. Zach Harrison up to a 79 with morale. That's a big one. Giving Max Crosby a running mate. So like I said, we are going to jump into this game. We're not going to play it, but we're going to, what's it called? Super sim it or whatever it's called. And we're going to watch this come out. We got to see what's going on here. Our run outside is what we did the last couple weeks, and it was working. So we're going to do it that way. We're just going to make sure. Might get an upgrade or so here out of our young guys. Should have changed the safety over, but I didn't. Whatever. And we do get an upgrade for Jonathan Mingo. Good for him. One that we don't necessarily need, but is definitely going to help. He is our developing wide receiver 3. Don't mind these guys or whatever. And we are ready for our Super Bowl matchup. Here we are, Super Bowl 50-something, 57, 58, 59, I don't even remember anymore. 58. 58. It's got to be 58, right? We just had 57. We'll go quarter by quarter for now, watching that score up top. We are down early. We're able to get some points on the board. We're driving. We're up. We're up. At halftime, we will take a 17 to 10 lead. All right, spoke too soon. So, it is a close game. This is interesting. Never thought the Raiders would be here. We're able to keep our lead. They're catching up, though. One more quarter for the Super Bowl. We're going to play by the moments, but skip them just so we can control a little bit more by the quarter here. We do get a field goal. They take a lead with 149. Oh, man. We take a lead back with 13 seconds. Did we just win the Super Bowl? We just won the Super Bowl. I don't even know what just happened. We got to check the play charts for that one. That was crazy. 49ers trade for Lamar Jackson and win in one season. All it took was that one season. Is there a score summary, list of scoring plays? All I care about is the fourth quarter. Robbie Gould in the fourth quarter. Zamir White, a 3-yard run. But it doesn't do enough as we get our 3 points to go ahead. What a game. Let's check some player stats out. Anthony Richardson, worst rating. Lamar outduels Richardson by a good margin. 3 touchdowns. They must have scored by rushing and rushing alone. 100 yards in the Super Bowl for Christian McCaffrey. What a game. 124 yards for Renfro. Wow. I didn't see who had the touchdowns. Yeah, Jacobs has 2 rushing touchdowns and Zamir White has 1. Okay, well, what a game. San Francisco able to capture their first title with this team in the first year of the new, the quarterback is the team essentially. You see how going from a mix of quarterbacks of Jimmy G and Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, but then you get a real defined quarterback like Lamar Jackson, and that gives you. And what we will do is, since we won in our first year, I will very quickly expedite the offseason. I won't do any of it. I'm going to sim it all. And then we're just going to simulate next year as a whole and just see what happens. Because, maybe we can double up. Maybe something crazy happens. And just to note, we do get the Super Bowl win, Lamar Jackson MVP. Lamar Jackson also wins league MVP. And we get the Coach of the Year in Kyle Shanahan. You can't see it, but I'll look up his Offensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald, defensive. Offensive Rookie, Anthony Richardson. And Defensive Rookie, Brian Bresee. What a great year. Got that all figured out, and now we will move on, and I will simulate year 2 to try and win back-to-back Super Bowls. So at the end of 2023, or whatever it was, the Super Bowl 24, I noticed that Trent Williams retired. So I jumped into the first pick of our draft, which was the last pick of the second round, and got this tackle who was a depth trait, but a 63 overall. So that's scary. The rest of our offensive line is pretty much what it was. It is what it is. The rest of the team is pretty much what it was. A few small differences, backups and stuff like that. The defense, we did lose Javon Hargrave, but Kinlaw is here. Pretty much the secondary is what it was. We got this guy who was a much better pick than our first pick that I didn't make. But, this tackle was projected as a second or third rounder and had a depth trait, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I saw he was a 63. So thought I'd share the roster real quick. But that's all, and now we will sim the rest of this season and just see what happens. For the playoffs, we squeak in with the 7 seed. We won 10 games, I believe. Pretty big drop-off from last year when we were 14-3 or whatever it was. Checking out some stats. I haven't looked at these yet. Lamar was not good. He was just not good. The completion percentage is there. The touchdown-interception ratio is not bad, but just in terms of yardage, it was not there. McCaffrey had a little bit of a better year, actually. Had a worse year for Lamar in general. Debo and Ayuk were both really, really good. Kittle had a down year. And then we had a mix of just a bunch of guys. And then defensively, Nick Bosa had a down year. Kinlaw went up, though, a little bit. Fred Warner had more picks than anybody else on the team. Not a good year overall. Can we squeak in? Riley Patterson's our kicker now. Cool, whatever. So can we squeak something out of this? What is going on with the staff points? I just got to check and see. Did I accidentally flip that over? That's so many staff points. I just want to know. It's at normal. Okay, that y'all see it here too. That's at normal. I don't know how we have so many. We can check some upgrades, see how we developed, see if there's any development things. First, we'll do these. Help our players get a little better themselves. Tyler Steen's up to a solid overall. Definitely happy about that. Not that we're going to play after this, but just kind of looking around. Not interested in any of these guys. Do I care about any of these? No. Spencer Burford, I care about, but I'm not going to do it myself. Great for all of you. Yeah, if you don't have multiples, I really don't care. I do want to do he surely has something. That new left tackle. Hopefully he's here somewhere. Was he at up top? Maybe I didn't, maybe I missed him. Falk. He's up to a 65. Not bad. 2 upgrades overall. Definitely could use some development for him. Overall, he's gotten a bit better in year 1. He went up 4 overall, so that can keep going. His XP level is only 2,600, so that's good. But yeah, not the best year. Can we make something happen in the playoffs? Like I said, I'm not playing this. I didn't do anything to it. I simulated the whole season. Yep, we lost. So we got our Super Bowl and we, accomplished the goal, and then that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know if y'all are interested in this. Let me know if y'all want to see more of these, some more situations and developments and stuff like that based on the situations. But yeah, if y'all enjoyed this, let me know. Leave a comment, leave a like, share it with your friends. Please do, or don't. I can't control you. But thank y'all for watching. Let me know what kind of videos y'all want to see down below. We've got the draft coming up this next week, and I'm excited for that. And I've got some content planned for after the draft. But if y'all got anything else, just let me know. Once again, thank you for watching, and peace.